The focus of the channel is just going to be in getting or attempting to inspire some sort of appreciation, at least, at minimum. Some little tiny emotional something that'll spark in somebody to realize that, yeah, this stuff isn't unimportant. I mean, there's nothing more important, really, on Earth. It's almost beyond comprehension, just the suffering of one animal. I mean, I'll use an example, a gratuitous example almost. Yeah, I mean, a neighbor had found a little mouse trap, and it's one of these glue traps, and there was a little mouse in it. All right, he was still alive, and he was fucked though. I mean, he was stuck bad. So there was really no decision to be made. I mean, to rescue him would have required essentially torturing him. I mean, there was no way to get him out of this mess without causing him a great deal of pain and trauma. The decision then was, well, how do you humanely deal with this problem? How do you end his life quickly and painlessly? And that becomes kind of another tough question. And just dealing with that fact of just having this little consciousness, this little sentient creature looking at you and saying, I'm in big fucking trouble, help me, do something. He wasn't even saying that. I think he was scared out of his fucking little brain. And this is just one little horror, that's all. This is just one tiny fraction of the real life drama that happens out there all the time. I mean, how can people walk through that? Okay, they just walk through it like it's all garden and no weed. Like that experience, that end, doesn't mean anything somehow. Somehow it's not something we can even put into our brains and acknowledge the existence of, because we can't even accept a few minutes of it or a few hours of it in one individual. And then you multiply that by millions of sentient creatures falling into all sorts of traps every day and all sorts of trauma. And to not be at least paused by it, at least to have some realization of this price hit you in the face and say, whoa. I just don't think that's asking too much from human beings, intelligent human beings. Unfortunately, I think if they really think about it and they go past pause, it's going to get kind of dark, because that's the fact of our existence. This is a bit of a trap we're in. Life is in a trap. Conscious sentient creatures are caught up in a game of life that is not well constructed, that is at its roots insanely inefficient in what it extracts for the victory of succeeding in the individual chases that go on. So anyway, don't want to get too dark, but just this, look, the point of the channel is just to give people some reason to give a damn, some statement, some image, something that'll make them for a fucking moment think that their life has a price. And then if they're eating their fucking roast beef sandwich, they might take a second to just appreciate the animal who endured a miserable fucking life and a miserable fucking death to put that shit in their belly. I mean, that's all. Is it too much to ask that those things that we are extracting a sacrifice from at least have some appreciation? Obviously appreciating what nature's doing is just almost impossible. Well, it probably is impossible, and that's phase 2. But human beings can at least appreciate their impact.